video I posted about Diggs, that was for fun. I know he's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's over with. Now, let's get to the Jordan Poyer thing. Jordan Poyer going to Tua's birthday party, and he said on his podcast he can't wait. Tua's a good friend of his, and he can't wait to meet Mike McDaniel. Blah blah blah. He also mentioned about he would like to go to, if he doesn't come back to Buffalo, he would like to play for a state that a team that in a state that doesn't charge taxes, state taxes, which would be a Miami. That's one of
Houston,
the states that
Dallas.
Texas? Yeah. There's other teams. I'm just throwing one out there.
Well, everyone gets connected the dots because
he
works out in Miami, lives in Miami.
Right. I'm sure his wife would absolutely love to get out of the snow and cold, and and they both probably would. I mean, I'll be real with you. I get it. That's South Florida weather, California weather, but it's too early to tell. Obviously, free agency starts, I believe, March 14th. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Or 17th. Is it 14th?
It's March 14th is the start of the new league year. I think March 12th is when the tampering period opens.
Okay. So, also, Tremaine Edmunds came out and said he's excited to get, go and visit teams and get offers, which he should be. Mikey, I don't think we're going to get either one back.
So, I'll tell you, I don't think so either. But for the longest time, I always thought Jordan Poyer was leaving. I think me and you talked about this at the beginning of the year.
We did.
I never thought Jordan Poyer was going to stay. I thought there's a chance he goes out, checks his market, realizes it's not what he wants, and he comes back for what Beane has the thing for. I don't think Edmonds is going to come back now. If he actually gets to the open market, someone's going to give him crazy amounts of money. Someone's going to give him that Roquan deal. That 20. He's 6 for
24 years. He's 24 years old. He's going to get paid.
But here's my take on this. Here's my take on this. The Buffalo Bills have always invested more money on the defense than they have on the offense.
Yep.
It's time to stop doing that and start investing more money on the offense. Look at how Kansas City's built. They have more money on the offense. Look how the Bengals are built. They're gonna have more money on their offense. Right now, they're all rookies.
They will. They're going to have
more money
big money
on their offense.
They got Higgins, and quarterback.
Look at how they're set up in Philly. The majority of their money is gonna be built on their offense. With that offensive line. It's time. Can we really afford $40 million in linebackers?
Right. On a guy that we don't even use, right?
Right. So when you start looking at it, I would much rather see us bring in an $8 or $9 million middle linebacker, and rookie draft high draft pick, first 2-day draft pick, or bring in a $6 million safety and not pay the 12, 13, and the 20 plus that it's going to cost. Don't get me wrong. If we can find a way to keep Tremaine Edmonds, great. He's young. He's good.
Yeah.
We drafted him. We groomed him. But we need to stop investing so much in the back half of our defense and start investing in the O-line and the D-line, like heavily investing in the O-line and D-line to find the right guys. And start putting more money on the offense. To stop this Band-Aid crap on the offensive line. There's some free agent guards out there that would do great in Buffalo.
Oh, no doubt.
We need, I would like to see us kick Bates to left guard and get an entire new right side of our offensive line. I like Spencer Brown, and I think he can still groom into something. But you know what? He should not be given a starting job.
Right.
Bring somebody in and let Spencer Brown be our swing tackle.
Right.
On his rookie deal.
Yeah. And he has a while left. It's only he's working on. He's going on his third year. I mean, it's like we have time to still mold him into
2 years. We have 2 years left with him on his rookie deal.
Yeah, figure out what we're gonna do with him. You know what I mean? I mean, there's still time. It's not a Cody Ford situation. Like you see the potential, a little bit more potential in him than Cody Ford. 1, 2. Cody Ford, we just can never find a spot. I think they know what Spencer Brown is capable of it. Now it's just boils down to, can he be a starting, or is he more of a swing tackle and comes in on a certain plays, play designs. But I agree with you. So listen, I think even if hypothetically the cap space was good, or the cap was good for us, we had money to spend. For as much as I was saying, pay Poyer, I think here's the deal, man. And maybe Poyer's one of those players that age well, and he still has a good 2 to 3 years left. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you that, but I can also tell you he's aging. His injuries now are piling up. And I think Brandon Beane is looking out for the future of this team, right? When it comes to that, he doesn't want to invest in older players and get stuck on contracts that leave Buffalo Bills in a hole with aging players that he can't really get rid of, right? Because at that point, who's going to want him, right? Yeah. If you cut him, you probably owe him a bunch of money. And I think that was the dilemma with the Poyer thing. Then you got Edmonds, and Edmonds is a problem because he's super young. He's 24 years old. The market is going to be huge on him because technically he's like an edge rusher. So that's why they didn't even give him the extension, because that's huge money to give him that extension, that 5th-year option or whatever.
$21 million to franchise him.
Yeah, and they weren't going to do it. So I think, like I said, man, I think Brandon Beane has a price in his head that he would be willing to pay him, and I don't think it's going to be close to what he's going to get offered. Yeah, no, and I think
there's a team right there in New York who needs linebackers bad.
Yeah,
there's a GM there who helped draft him.
Yep.
There's a head coach there that knows what he brings.
Yep.
And who, if they're smart, won't be paying Daniel Jones $45 million.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. By the way, I heard about that. Yeah. That's the most. If they do, then I gotta say, he didn't learn much from Brandon Beane, because I would never pay that. Listen, I'm not knocking him, but I still don't think he's their future. I wouldn't. I still think the Giants would be better off trying to find their franchise quarterback. I don't believe, I could be wrong, but he's definitely not worth $45 million. They're absolutely crazy.
Derek Carr is 100 times better than Daniel Jones, and all he's asking for is 35.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's wild. I would definitely listen. I would be like, Daniel, I can't do it. It's not going to happen, bro. So, but anyways, that's another team's problems, right? So Edmonds, back to Edmonds. I just don't. Once again, even if we had the money, I don't think it would be a wise decision to overpay for him, especially because, man, I was talking about this yesterday. I don't know if he's played good for us, but I don't know if he fits our scheme. Like, he's so much more capable of doing so much more, and I think McDermott and Frazier hold him back. So we're never going to get that value out of him that another team who might use him right will. You get what I mean? Like, I could definitely see his sack totals going up if he's somewhere else. You don't think Dallas would have him more? I'm just saying, if Dallas didn't have their edge rusher, of course they would use him more like a Parsons. 100%. If he was with Miami, even Miami would definitely blitz him more. He would definitely be used a lot more in different coverages. I think we're just we rely on him too much to be just like this, press back, pass kind of, I don't know what we do with him. I hate it. I do, because I almost feel like we wasted him the time he was here, that because he's a freak athlete, Mikey. He's tall, he's fast, he's big. And we I don't know if we ever used his full potential on the field.
He was outside linebacker in college, and that's where he made his name. He was able to cover. He was able to rush the passer both. Mm-hmm. We took him and put him in the middle of our field. Now, he was a fantastic middle linebacker and great in coverage.
Sure.
The stats say that it's like, the EPA is like 1.5.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Less, which takes us from like the top 10 into like the bottom half of the league with just by having him.
Which is but that's McDermott. That's what McDermott wanted. He found a niche and he found a great quality in him, but that was the only quality he could find. You get what I'm saying? Like,
we
that's
didn't
where
use
it
him
was
as
a little concerning.
a weapon. We didn't use him as a weapon.
That's what I mean. We used him we found something he was really good at, right? As a leader, as a play caller, right? As a pass defender in the middle of the field, dangerous, but but that was it. Like we just were like, okay, you're great at this. We're gonna let the other guys do this. You know what I mean? Like it was a mistake.
That's a McDermott defense though. They aren't.
100%.
They do not come with wild things. See, you look at the Giants, or back when it was Baltimore, with Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale just dials up. You look at Kansas City, they dial up crazy crap.
Oh yeah,
Toronto. You look at some of these defensive coordinators, and you look at what McDermott and they play zone coverage, bend but don't break. We're not going to let you score a touchdown. You're going to kick field goals. We don't care if you move it between the 20s.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen in my life.
I was saying yesterday, I don't even know if I want to call it a zone defense. I'm just going to call it the bend don't break defense.
That's what it is.
That's it. Like forget all the terms.
It's not even the Tampa 2, because Tampa 2 is still exotic and they brought different ways to do things. Right. But it's a bend but don't break style defense. That's all that it's.
That's it. And we break on such important games.
Yep.
Right. Like of course we're not going to break against Chicago Bears. We're not going to break against a Houston Texans or a team that the Jets that are limited on offense.
Because we didn't break against Kansas City in the regular season. It's the playoff games. Because we didn't. We
didn't. But I felt like I agree with you that one. But there's been games throughout the timeline, right? Not just last season, where we totally melted down.
Oh yeah, there's like one game every year.
The Colts, right? You know what I mean? The Colts. I thought Miami earlier in this season went to town on us. They scored even the last game. They went to town on us. They scored a lot of points. That was both games were close. Our defense was not like killer.
Game 2 of Miami and game 3
Game 2 of Miami. Yeah, game 2 of Miami. Okay, game 2 of Miami was not a very good defensive showing. Wild card game against Miami, not a very good showing. Cincinnati Bengals, obviously not a good showing. And I got to admit, the way the game started in that first Cincinnati game, and it might have went the same way we saw in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed to be. And that bend don't break, like I said, man, I feel like it breaks against top-notch offenses. It definitely breaks more than it holds, right? Mm-hmm. And of course you can mention the Chiefs game. It helped 100%. Well, but you also got to imagine
regular season defense. It's not a
we had Von Miller too.
Yep.
Right? Von Miller wasn't around in that and towards the end of the season when we played Miami. He wasn't around in the playoff game. Either one, obviously. So also Micah Hyde. I mean, there's some things that we got to factor in.
Already gone.
No, I get that. I'm just saying in the defensive total, we got to factor in. I get that. But no, I think the Chiefs game, I think even the season before when we beat them, we played them well defensively, but they adjust. That's the big difference. Andy Reid's going, okay, all right, well, if I see you again, now I'm going to do this, and you guys are going to stick with the same defense because why? Because that's what you guys do. You don't get out of your defensive plan.
And Andy Reid knows that because he hired Sean McDermott, and he came up under Sean McDermott.
Right. So
Sean McDermott came up under him. He knows exactly the reason why he's stubborn. He does what he does, and that's all he does. He does not take those risks. And I'll tell you, it's frustrating from a defensive standpoint when you watch the Eagles, who had a great defense, all year long, but got shredded got shredded in the
pretty
Super Bowl.
Much. Second half too.
Yeah.
Adjustments.
It's it's you have to be different, and McDermott refuses to change.
Refuses.
And that goes into with Hyde leaving and with Edmonds probably on his way out the door as well. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm a little afraid of what this defense is going to look like without those two guys in
without
there.
Poyer. Poyer.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what Hyde's going to look like when he comes back from his neck surgery.
I think Hyde will be okay. I don't think that's like an ACL thing. I think that's more of a mental thing for him to like, okay, I could, you know what I mean? Like for the neck thing, like, will I be able to, take a big hit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Micah Hyde can lay a hit. You know, Micah Hyde was never scared
But will he be now hesitant now?
Right. But I will say he's gone through this before, right?
Yeah.
He's gone through the neck thing before, so it's not. And I didn't see any hesitant on Micah Hyde the first time around that he dealt with this, right? So I don't think he's a pro's pro, right? This isn't, you know, another guy that we're about to get into.